But the one that really winds me up the most, and the one I guess I really wanted to kick off on tonight, was a post from the Mirror that said Liverpool have money to spend after making a profit in the summer transfer window, but they cannot compete and they cannot complete, the quality of deals they would want. Now, that in itself to me is a piss take if that's what the club are briefing. And I don't like the line that says Liverpool have money to spend after making a profit in the summer transfer window. Liverpool would have money to spend either way. And the fact that we made a profit in the summer transfer window, in my opinion, is not at all something to be celebrated. It's something that we should be critical of. Because making profits is great for the owners, not so great for us fans who want the squad strengthened. So I want to ask the question, how is it that for Liverpool, the players aren't out there? We can't find any players. Have money now, so we're admitting the money's there, but now we just can't find players. City can find them, other clubs can find them, Villa can find them, but it's always the same old for us. We would do it if there was a player available. Well, how about being proactive, like Manchester City have done? They're going to Juventus to try and sign one of their players. They've agreed a deal for Omar Marmoush. They're going out there and splashing the cash because they've had a poor start to the season and they want to catch back up. Meanwhile, we sit on our hands and swallow the bullshit that gets leaked out to us in the media from the owners who, quite simply, as I've said many times, just don't give a damn. Whitehammer, first super chat of the night, said, I'm sick of no decisions being made. Everything's left. Yep, and do you know the next one? The next one that got me was this one, which is also from the Mirror, that says, Arne Slot is not convinced by Jarell Kwanzaa. So, last night we spoke about Chiesa not getting a look in, Elliott not getting a look in, and now we can add another name to that list according to the Mirror. So we're carrying a squad that already have players the manager doesn't rate, who were unwilling to sell or move on, who were unwilling to go out there and bring in replacements for, but now we're being convinced as well that we can't find anyone? Which one is it? Does the manager not rate these guys? And if that's the case, why aren't they out the door? You know, I rate Elliott. It's not about what my opinion is. But if the manager doesn't rate Kwanzaa, which seemingly has some sensibility to it considering he's getting very few minutes this season, if the manager doesn't rate Elliott, if the manager doesn't rate Chiesa, what are we doing? What are we doing? I don't know. Tipsy Dipsy said, Richard Hughes has been on holiday ever since him and Michael Edwards brought in Slot. I hope Slot will speak up if he doesn't get the players he needs. So, I'm okay with Slot not speaking up. But here's what I'm not okay with, Tipsy Dipsy. And feel free to pass this along to, Lala as well. I'm not okay with people just thinking that what the manager says is gospel. So, he has to publicly say he's happy. He has to publicly back his players. That's his job. Get it, I understand it. He's new in the door. But we don't have to swallow it. So we need to get to a point where fans understand that we are manipulated, whether you want to admit that or not. Sometimes in a good way, sometimes in a bad way, but certainly we're manipulated. And football isn't as transparent as it looks on the outside at times. You know, we know Klopp wasn't happy behind the scenes. Don't try and tell us he was. There was stuff that was pissing him off, and he looks like a new man now, that he's free from all the hassle of the PGMOL, the scrutiny of the Premier League, the lack of backing by the owners, and every other reason that a manager will get drawn down. And it is tiring. Adam said, we as fans should be absolutely loving the season, but I feel, I'm wishing the time away so we can finally know what's going on. I absolutely hate it. It's so difficult, isn't it? It's so difficult, mate. And, I go back and forth on this as well. And I hate myself for feeling that way at times. But I don't think it's unwarranted or unfounded. I think there are valid reasons for Liverpool fans to look at it and go, this doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't pass the smell test. Everybody's happy, but yet no one's extended. The club's in a great place, but yet we're not buying anybody. There's no available players, but yet we see other clubs out there doing business. And every window, there's a new excuse. And some people, I guess out of the goodness of their own spirit, want to give the benefit of the doubt and let this go on to the next window. But you're watching a great group of players being run into the ground with no strengthening. And that to me is just inexcusable. And I don't really care who people want to blame, whether it's Hughes, Edwards, Slot, whatever. Just start being more vocal about it. Because the only thing I've ever seen that really pushes FSG to action is discontent and bad media. and bad PR. So we're going to have to up the ante here. If, of course, you are unhappy. If you're not unhappy, absolutely no issues. And you shouldn't be unhappy with what you're seeing on the pitch with regards to the league table, but you should be concerned about fatigue and some of the other stuff that we've been seeing recently. Defensive lapses. It's okay to admit left back isn't good enough. It's okay to think we need another centre back. It's okay to call out the stupid hypocrisies of why Chiesa and Elliott are in squads if the manager doesn't trust them or want them. It's not you that's saying it, but these are the things that we're seeing in front of our eyes. So Brighton and Hove Albion are the favourites, by the way, according to the bookies, for Harvey Elliott's signature. 6-4, they reckon, the most likely for him. Borussia Dortmund at 8-5, they're showing interest as well. Forest and Bournemouth a little bit further back. And the question then was, does Harvey Elliott leave this month? And that makes me sick. Because we know we need players, and we're not doing that. And I don't buy it. I'm going to ask the question, first poll of the night. Do you believe that we just cannot find the players? Because that's what's being put out there today. Those of you maybe who are coming a little bit later in the stream, the question that I'm asking is based off an article from the Mirror and a piece that said Liverpool have money to spend after making a profit in the summer transfer window, but they can't compete, or they can't complete the quality of deals that they would want. There's always an excuse, isn't there? So we can't complete the quality. Now it's not a money issue. We have that, but there's nobody out there. There's nobody that Liverpool can bring in. What about Martin Zubimendi? Can we get his signature for the summer even if that's the case? Why are we letting Omar Marmoush walk to Manchester City? Why are we not being proactive? How come everybody else can always find players, but there's always an excuse for Liverpool? It's tiring. So if they have the money, where's the contracts? It's a very good point, Marco. It's a very good point. Yeah, all this money that we've saved and all this money we've generated and all the other stuff, none of the stuff adds up, mate. You're right, none of it adds up. So I really feel in my heart of hearts now that yes, there's contracts with all the players, but they're lowballing ones. They must be. Because you've got Virgil and Mo who want to stay. They have contract offers in front of them, but they haven't signed them. Now, why haven't they signed them? And again, Ben Jacobs reporting this. Liverpool's still optimistic Salah will stay. The contract offer remains on the table. That last line, the last line of that I think is crucial. The contract offer remains on the table. So it's not getting improved. There's no revisiting it. Here's the contract offer Liverpool have offered. So that way, if Salah does go, they can just go, well, we tried. We put an offer towards him. And then he becomes the villain. I feel they're just being cheap and lowballing. And I feel like they're hoping that the lads basically just get fatigued by it and think, oh, just take it. I can't be bothered. I don't want to uproot my family. And all the other stuff. And it's disgusting. And they should be ashamed of themselves. And the owner should be absolutely lambasted for this crap. I think we should just sell the club, said Ashley. Well, we don't own the club, mate, so we can't sell it. But my gripe is they don't have the appetite for it. They're not fussed about it. Their focus is on Boston at the minute and lots of other projects they have on. And Liverpool are just ticking along, doing well in the league, generating the money for the owners. The revenue is going up. The value of the club's going up. And yet, the players just getting run into the ground. So we're working with a squad now that's already probably rather small. And now it's a squad that's small with players the manager doesn't want and trust. But we go on week after week with half the bench not being given a sniff. Why are we carrying these players in squads? You know, let's be fucking ruthless about this. If the manager doesn't rate players, that's okay. Every manager will have their own favourites. People they like, people they don't like. It's not a reflection on us fans. But where's the ruthless streak?